60-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully that combination of consistency and community make it a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable to suffer on the floor and make a whole bunch of progress in our hip mobility in our side splits. That is the goal. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. We're going to start with 3 warm-up exercises, and the first thing that we're going to do is called the hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your leg through its full range of motion using your own muscle power. So we're getting stronger and we're getting more mobile. Let's get started. We're going to start by bringing the knee up high, directly in front. Then we're going to open up the hip directly to the side. Keep the knee high. From here, we're going to rotate the leg. I'm going to spin around so you can see what that means. You don't have to move. Once your leg is open and up to the side, we're going to rotate and get it to horizontal. Once it's horizontal, I want you to keep going. Bring the ankle up as high as you can, and then bring the leg down and back. When it's down and back, I want you to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull and feel the stretch in the front of your hip and the hip flexors. And that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. The first couple, we're going to feel a little bit stiff, you're going to feel a little rough. That's okay. As you get to the 10th one, things will start loosening up and start getting a little bit smoother. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, down and back. That's 1. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. Open, ankle up, down and back. 3. Open, ankle up, down and back. 4. Open, ankle up, down and back. 5. Open, ankle up, down and back. 6. Open, ankle up, down and back. 7. Open, ankle up, down and back. 8. Open, ankle up, down and back. 9. Open, ankle up, down and back. 10. That is 10 hip cars on the left side. We got 10 more to do on the right side. Again, these are all about building strength and mobility in the hip. So let's go. High knee, lift that knee as high as you can. Open it to the side as wide as possible. Rotate that leg all the way around. Bring the ankle up, 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 up. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. And that's 1. Open, ankle up, down and back. 2. Open, ankle up, down and back. 3. Open, ankle up, down and back. 4. Open, ankle up, down and back. 5. Open, ankle up, down and back. 6. Open, ankle up, down and back. 7. Open, ankle up, down and back. 8. Open, ankle up, down and back. 9. Open up, ankle up, down and back. 10. Those are 10 hip curls going forward. We've done both sides now. I hope your hips probably a little bit tired, but they're feeling a little bit smoother on both sides. To finish them off, we're going to do the same thing, but backwards, and really get that last little bit of looseness in the hips. Ready? To go backwards, we're going to do the same movements, but in a slightly different order. We're going to start by bringing the leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel that stretch in the hip flexor. Then we're going to lift that leg up directly to the side. If you want, you can feel like a cool martial artist and go whoosh. And from here, let's rotate that ankle up, 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 up. We'll bring the knee in and the ankle up. And if you want, I guess you can add another kick. Anyways, I don't actually do martial arts, so I'm just cosplaying right now. Bring the ankle up, and then do the opposite. Bring the ankle all the way down, lift the knee way high, and finish by bringing the knee forward. That's a lot of information. Don't worry, I'm gonna call it out. We're gonna do a whole bunch of reps. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 4, 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 9, last one, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. Oh, those are all the hip cars I'm going to do on the left side. This is done. We got one last side to go. 10 left. Let's do it. Or sorry, 10 remaining, not 10 on the left. 10 remaining on the final leg. Okay. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. You might have noticed that I am holding to the table for a little bit of balance. Support is super helpful when you're really trying to get the maximum range of motion, but it's also totally possible to do these freestanding. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. But usually you have to limit a little bit how far you're trying to reach unless you have really good balance. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think there's 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6, back. Ooh, kick the table. Ankle up, ankle down, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 9, maybe 10. Let me just do one more for 10. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 10. Those are the hip cars. And that was warm-up exercise number 1. If you're just joining in, we do 45 minutes of, I don't know why I'm doing this. We're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to put good vibes out into the internet. I hope you put good vibes into the chat. And hopefully we can support each other while we work on our hip mobility, work on our side splits. If that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern on the weekends, aka tomorrow. We have a bonus show at 9 a.m. Eastern. So in like 11 and a half hours, we'll be right back, right here, doing some more stretches. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. I feel like a whole bunch of big balls of text came through. So I'm gonna double check what's going on. Charles Arkley has responded during the live 8 stretches that are great for lower body. Thank you. And Live, he does a lot of quick workouts. Oh, cool. Thank you. I was wondering what those big walls of text were. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's keep going. We're doing stretch number 2. Warm-up exercise number 2 is a little bit more chill. Hip cars was really intense. So let's dial it back, take it a little chill. We're going to get into this L shape. We're going to fold forward, bring the belly button down. And if you're just stuck at 90 degrees, that's fine. If you think we're just trying to touch your toes, that is exactly what we're doing. We're just trying to hang out here for a little bit. We're stretching out our hamstrings. We're going to do something called the elephant walk. And in that elephant walk, once we get there, we're just going to be bending one knee, putting all of our weight on it, doing the opposite, and switching back and forth. But until then, we're just going to hang out and chill for a little bit. You should be feeling your hamstrings tightening up, maybe a little bit of pressure in your low back as you pull your belly button down and forward. And I think we're ready. Let's do a little bit of knee bending. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Keep on trying to bring the belly button down towards the ground. Feel those hamstrings almost shifting and twitching and doing weird stuff as you try to get pretty deep into this stretch. If you have been doing, or if you were on the show 12 hours ago and you took this really intense, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. You might be a little bit sore. If that's the case, dial back the intensity. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. Chill, because there are still many more lives to go this weekend. I'm saying this to you, but I'm really saying it for myself because I tend to go a little too hard. My hamstrings are quite sore right now, and I'm gonna try to dial it back because we have 2 more lives this weekend. All right, bending one knee, straightening the other leg, bending the other leg, straightening the leg that's not bent. Keep on going. Keep on trying to bring the belly button down towards the ground. If you're feeling a lot of stuff shifting in your hamstrings, that is because there's a lot of stuff going on in the back of your leg. Your hamstring is made of 3 different muscles, and one of those muscles is a bicep. What a bicep means is that one end of it turns into 2. So there's like a little split in the road, and they anchor down at 2 different points. So basically, there's like 4 pieces of rope in the back of your leg. And when you do this, you're forcing them to all move and shift slightly. Maybe they're rubbing together. Maybe they're just hanging out doing things. So if you feel like your hamstrings are tired, are a little confused, or making sounds, or doing crazy things, that is relatively normal. I said making sounds. I don't think making sounds is that normal, so maybe not that one. Okay, once you've done this for a little bit, your hamstrings should be a little bit looser. You should have been able to fold a little bit further forward, and your hands are probably fine, but your toes are probably a little bit tingly. So take some time, shake out your body. Whenever I shake, my hands also flop around. I don't know why I do that, but that's fun. Get loose, relax the legs, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And once your hips, your legs are starting to feel normal-ish again, you've forgotten that your legs are tired or your legs are sore, then we're ready to move on to the same exact move that we were just doing. Get back into position. We're gonna bring the legs hips width apart, fold the belly button down towards the ground. We're gonna thoracic rotations, which look a little bit like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bend left knee. We're gonna reach across to our right leg. The right leg is straight. We're gonna push against the ankle. We're going to rotate the chest to the right. Extend the right arm up into the air. Rotate the head. Look at the hand. And reach. We're taking this nice and slow. I know I talk fast, but I don't want you to stretch fast. This is not explosive. It's not whoosh. I don't know. It's not like you're trying to elbow somebody in the face when you reach back. We're taking this nice and slow. Now, right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Right hand reaches across to the left leg. Chest rotates to the left. Left arm rotates or extends up into the air behind you and reach. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 5 in total. Other side. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe. Reach some more. And back down. Other side. Reach, 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 reach. Reach some more and down. Thoracic rotation is all about rotating pretty much the middle chunk of your spine. And that chunk of your spine is designed to be very, very mobile, both bending forward, bending back, but also in these rotations. When you're doing the rotations, focus on getting your whole back to do a little bit. Don't try to rotate from just one spot. That is how you get injured. Oh, okay. I've completely lost count of how many we've done, but I feel like we've done 5. Oh, take a nice big exhale, release, and let go. I hope your back is feeling a little bit more relaxed. Your shoulders are a little bit more relaxed. Because that's all we're doing for the back end. That's all we're doing for the arms. Let's move on into the third warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch. I'm going to take a peek here at the chat. Drew says, thank you, Ken. I can feel the difference already. Awesome. Amazing. We got more to come. Let's go. Cossack switch looks somewhat like this. We're going to drop down to one side with this leg extended. We're going to scoot our butts over to the other side with this leg extended. Some tips. I would like both of your heels to be down on the ground. If you can't get it perfectly every single time because you're just trying to figure out the form, that's absolutely okay. If you can't get super low and you're stuck a little bit higher at the moment, that is also totally okay. But to get your body prepared for some Cossack switches, I want you to turn into a little ball. I want you to hug your knees to your chest. I want your knees to come forward. Bring your heels up off the ground for a second and just turn into a little ball. We want to squish the hips here. We want to put some pressure in the front of the ankles. We want to put some pressure on the Achilles tendon in these calves. And while we squish into this little ball, it's going to help us get into that deeper position in the Cossack switch so that we're folding at the hips, putting some stretch into the ankles, and let's see if that helped. Come back into that squished position. This time, try to see if you can bring your ankles close to the ground and lean forward. Put your hands down a little bit. There's a lot of information. Don't worry if you don't catch all of it. Just follow along and mirror to the best of your ability. From here, while we're in this squished, squatted position, I want you to extend one leg out directly to the side. If you're struggling with this and you need to get your hips a lot higher, that's absolutely okay. Just know that your quads are going to fire and they're going to work a lot harder. Part of the reason why we stay in the squish position is it should be a little bit less taxing on your muscles, okay? And the reason we pre-stretch this position is because it's less tiring on your muscles. Okay. In this position, we're at work. This is the meat and bones of the soup. Bad analogy. All right, moving on. The heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. All right? Right here is all the key points you need to know when you're getting into external leg rotation. External leg rotation is when you rotate the leg towards the outside of the body. So our feet were pointing that way, and now our feet are pointing toes up, knees up. So this rotation is happening like so. This is the most important part of the side split. This rotation right here. Once you've done that, you can sit up straight in the side split and it'll be a-okay. Cool? And the reason why we do this is because we need the thigh bone to rotate out of the way of your hip bone so they don't smash into each other and then cause unnecessary pain. Great? Great. From here, now that we've squished in this position for so long, let's try and get our butts over to the other side. You can put your hands down. Scoot, 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 and come over to the other side. And once again, we're getting to that squished position, but only on one leg, and the other leg is extended. I want you to try your best to place the heel down when you're ready and start going across to the other side. You can pause for a second and take a little bit more of a break because this has so far been pretty intense. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of different ways to get across at varying levels of difficulty, and you can follow along. We're going to do 10 reps, all right? You can put your hands down and help bring your weight across with a lot of support. When you're feeling pretty strong, you can pull your arms back and keep going with that exact form that you just figured out with your hands down. When you're feeling a lot stronger, you can start sitting up a little bit straighter, stick your arms out to help counterbalance, and I want you to try your best to come across to the other side, and then sit deep into that lower position. Across, and sit deep into that lower position. If you are having a little bit of trouble with your knees, they're a little bit sensitive, you can come up to sort of a quarter squat, just higher out of the ground, come across, and then sit deep. All right? So just a higher variation should be a little bit easier on your knees. Might require a little bit more quad strength, but that is the compromise. Whew, that's it. Let's go. We're gonna do 10 reps going from side to side. I'm gonna integrate the easier ones and the harder ones as I do them, so you have examples and reminders. You can pick whatever you want. You can start whatever you want. Let's go. First half rep. And 1. Remember, we really want to try to keep both of our heels down. If you can't get as squished as I am down into this position, that is absolutely okay and normal. I have been doing this show live for over a year now, and we don't usually do this many Cossack switches, but I've had a lot more practice. So don't worry about where you're at. Focus on doing your best. And I said I would do other variations of this. Hands down, across. Hands down, across. No hands, across. Sitting up a little bit straighter, across. I feel like we've done 7 and 8. And come up to a quarter squat, come across, and then sink down. Come up, across, and then sink down. That's 9. Last one. 10. Sorry, 10. Those are the Cossack switches. Those are probably very intense. You're probably very tired. If you're not totally done, you're catching up. Take your time. I talk a lot. You have plenty of time. The Cossack switches are really cool because they do a combination of things: strengthening and mobility. We pre-stretched that low squished position by hugging your knees to the chest and trying to get into that little tight ball. And that helps us get into that little tight ball on this side when we extend the legs. And in this position, like so, basically from the midpoint out, we're already in a side split. And if you can already get pretty low like this, you've already got all the fundamental pieces to do a low side split. There is no muscle that connects your left leg to your right leg. It's just the hip bones that connect the two together. So it's entirely possible for you to get at least this deep in your side split already. Cool. We've been going for a while. Let's take a little break, grab some water. We just wrapped up our warm-up exercises. If you think warm-up exercises means this is a scary show because Cossack switches are really hard, don't worry. We were just getting the body prepared so that we can stretch. The stretches are way less cardio. Your quads will burn way less from this point on. And we're gonna get started in 20 seconds. Grab a sip of water, and if you can, go grab a cushion. We're gonna do a neck stretch with one knee on the ground, doing a hamstring stretch. So get a little bit of padding. Could be an old shoe, could be couch cushions, could be your dog bed, whatever it is, just a little bit of cushioning is all you need. I'm gonna grab a sip of water too. I'll be right back. Woo. All right, I'm gonna check the chat for a second. Akaria says, aloha, aloha. Welcome back. Akaria says, I never told you that I'm a retired dentist. I think you did. Or maybe that was somebody else. I think somebody else, maybe yesterday or the day before, also told me that they were a retired dancer. And I was like, ooh, we got like a real skilled human being here. I should be extra thoughtful with my words. Akara used to be able to do roll through center splits. Not 100% sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure that means you can get into a split and then just like hang out and do stuff while in the center split, like fold forward, all the way forward, all the way forward. You can sit back in this position, and that's crazy. That's a lot of split power. Okay, I'm gonna scroll through the chat for just a second longer, and then we're gonna hop right into stretch 1. Eduardo's back on YouTube. Welcome back, welcome back. That means all my splits and roll through because I was brushing. Okay, got it. Akaria used to have a ton of splits badassery, and now they're retired. Okay, hope you had your sip of water. Hope you're ready because it's time for some stretches. We're gonna do a hamstring stretch. The exact name of this stretch is gonna be different depending on what sport you do and what country you're in. So don't worry about the name. Just know that the goal is to stretch your hamstrings. We are dropping down to one or both knees, depending on how you want to start. We're pointing our hips forward, our shoulders forward, our head forward. Everything is in a straight line. We're extending one leg directly in front. If your legs are too close together and you're sort of losing balance, then you can sort of open up the legs just a little bit to help you get a little bit more stability. And once you're here, I want you to try to pull that leg in to your body. I don't want you to lean into this like you're doing a front split. I want you to pull the leg in like you're sucking it into your stomach, all right? That's a weird visual. Okay, from here, we're folding forward. We're bringing the belly button, and we're trying to touch it to the thigh. Cool? Whew. That's it. This is the hamstring stretch setup. We're going to do some other things from here to help get deeper into the stretch, but those are optional. All right. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a big inhale, and then we're going to slowly exhale. And as we exhale, we're going to try to fold down into that thigh. And we're going to do that right now. Let's go. Inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Your hamstrings should be tightening up even more. It should be wildly uncomfortable, tingly even. Get used to it. This is what we're doing. Stretching. Okay. I hope you've taken some normal breaths in between that big inhale and exhale, because we're going to do another inhale, exhale. Let's go. Inhale and exhale and fold. Remember, the goal is to bring the belly button down towards the thigh, and we want to try to keep the back relatively straight so that there isn't a bunch of pressure on just one or two joints in your back. Okay, once you're as deep as you can get for now, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. For pretty much everything that's left of the show, we're doing static stretches, and we're holding them for about 30 seconds. But because I explain a lot and we do some setup, it's potentially a bit more than 30 seconds, depending on how well you know the show and how early you're getting right into that stretch. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Remember, we're trying to bring the belly button down to the ground. We're trying to keep the back relatively straight. To help with that, you can look slightly up in front of you. That will raise your head, and that will raise your upper back up towards a straighter line. If you're staring at your knees, that's going to cause you to roll forward and bend, and we don't want too much of that. All right. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Come on out of that stretch. I definitely feel like I counted a little bit slow, and I had a little bit too much chit-chat. So we went a little bit long on that one side. Breathe. Chill. Let's switch over to the other side. Same thing. Extending everything directly in front, pulling that leg into the hip socket, and we're folding forward. Trying to bring the belly button down to the thigh. Take a quick breath, and let's do the big inhale, exhale. Inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down to the thigh. Relax for a second. Take some normal breaths. And let's do one more inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you have one leg that feels way more flexible than the other, that is completely normal. I have an old left hamstring injury, and that is occasionally very tingly when I do this stretch, even though that injury is maybe almost a decade old at this point. Whew. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. If your knees are getting a little bit sensitive, if they're feeling too much pressure, it's uncomfortable, you can give them a slight bend to reduce the tension on the knee. That is going to cause all of the stress in the hamstring, the tightness of the hamstring, to reduce. And from here, I want you to really focus on folding forward so that your belly button is touching your thigh. Maybe your chest is even coming down to touch the thigh. Try to keep the back relatively straight still. And once you've done all of that, you can start focusing on trying to straighten out your leg to finish off the rest of that hamstring. So you just change the order that we're focusing on. Cool? All right. I completely lost count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Come on out of that hamstring stretch. Breathe. Take some normal breaths. Relax. And when you can, come back into standing. Get rid of the cushion. We don't need it anymore. Try not to break anything because that would be bad. let's get into stretch number 2. Stretch number 2 is the butterfly stretch. Butterfly stretch is often also called the tailor's pose, and it basically looks like this. We're bringing our feet together, we're pulling the feet in towards our groin, and we get into something that looks like this. When you do this without back support, if you're less flexible, like most of us, like me, your knees are going to be really, really, really high up. If you scoot your back into a wall, into something very stable, I'm going to use this table leg. It will help you from falling backwards. And if you have your hips, your shoulders, your head resting against something stable, something strong, like a wall, not so much like this table leg, because this table is like shaking when I'm putting pressure against it. Not a great table, but that's okay. We're gonna take the feet, bring them in, and you can see that my knees are already much lower to the ground because I have a little bit of support in the back. From this position, I want you to focus on bringing your knees down into the ground, but I want you to do it with your own muscles first. I always want you to get a little bit stronger while you're getting more mobile, okay? The strength helps you control the positions that you're getting into. So use the outer thigh muscles, use these glutes, and try your best to contract them and bring your knees into the ground using your muscle power first. So in the position, open up those hips with your muscles. Breathe. And once you've gotten as deep as you can, we're going to take the hands and start using them for some push and power as well. When you do this, when you put your hands down and you push, your upper shoulders, maybe the back of your head, are going to push into the wall, and they're going to be feeling a little bit of pressure. That is normal, because when you push into your legs, the body wants to do the opposite. The back wants to fall backwards. Right now, because we have the wall, we can't fall backwards, and that's what that pressure on our back, on our shoulders, on our head is. It's keeping us from falling backwards. So apply that force into your legs. Breathe. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Let's go with 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Let the hands go first. Your hips might be feeling a bit tired, a little bit confused. You might feel like your legs don't lift up right now. What's going on? Your hips are kind of frozen. What's happening? That is normal. When you start applying a lot of pressure in one direction, you hold it for a long time, sometimes your legs get into sleepy mode. So just move your leg, give it a little bit of a wiggle, shake it up. Wake up, wake up. And once you've slapped your legs around a little bit, let's come back up into standing. Shake out the legs, shake out the hips. You might feel quite a bit of tension here in the hips because we're really trying to open the legs up. So take some time, give them a little bit of a wiggle. That is the second of our 5 stretches. We have the third one come right up, and we come back into standing for it because it is called the standing pancake. In the standing pancake, we are opening up the legs decently wide. It doesn't have to be crazy. If it already hurts in your hips, come back up. Come back into a less intense position because it should not hurt. From whatever stance that you're in, I want you to fold at the hips. I want you to point your belly button down into the ground. If this looks like how we set up the elephant walk and how we set up our little toe touch at the beginning of our warm-up, this is basically exactly the same, except our legs are a little bit wider apart. From here, gravity is pulling our head down, is pulling our chest down, is pulling our upper body down into the ground, and we want as much help as we can get. That is why we do the standing variation of the pancake stretch. From here, we want to fold, again, at the hips. We want to bring the belly button down as low as we can go. I keep talking about the belly button because the belly button is basically right next to the top of your hips. If you just focus on the belly button, the hips have to be doing the same thing. You don't have enough room to have more mobility in your back. So the belly button is a great way to start. Okay, from here, I want you to just hang out. Try to bring the belly button down. You can experiment with pulling on your legs to help you fold forward a little bit. You can widen your stance to help figure out how deep and how comfortable you can get in different positions. And when you're ready to do the struggling part, let's do the struggling part. To make this more intense, to struggle some more, you can extend your arms out above your head, and suddenly you'll feel like it got way heavier, and it'll help you fold forward a little bit deeper. If you feel like your face is going to fall into the ground, go ahead and stick your butt a little bit further back to help center your weight a little bit differently and make it so that the center of your weight is where your belly button is at. Scoot your butt back. That was a lot of words. Scoot your butt back. Let's go. I hope you're in position. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. Obviously, if it's too intense at any point, you can put your hands down. You can rest. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. Again, it's all about bringing the belly button down towards the ground. 16. 15. We're halfway there. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Put your hands down. Come on up out of that stretch. If you are taking some time to do it, that is absolutely a-okay. Bring your legs in. Wiggle heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. As you bring your legs in. Ooh. Oh man, that was intense. Okay. I got 2 more shows to do, 12 hours from now and 12 hours after that. So maybe I should not have gone so hard. But that was fun. That was nice. Felt badass. I hope that stretch felt good. It was probably really challenging because there's 2 parts to this. And 2 main pieces are the adductors, ADDUCTOR. When we do the standing pancake, these muscles are getting stretched. And then because we're standing, we're holding up all of this weight, the muscles are actually contracting really hard to support you. When your legs are closer together, it's less intense on that muscle. So you might not notice it as much, but by the time you get down into these deeper positions, these muscles are working overtime, trying to keep you upright, supporting the whole weight of your body. And they're going to be very tired, both because you're contracting and because you're trying to lengthen them in this very weak position that you don't usually have that much strength in. This is good and it's bad. It's bad because it makes it hard to hold for the whole 30 seconds that we're doing the stretch for. It's good because it doesn't really matter that we're doing 30 seconds. As long as you're putting in the effort, that's fine. The other reason it's good is you're building a lot of strength in this position. The stronger you are in a stretched, lengthened position, the easier it will be to control that length. All right? So this is actually good. But if you are suffering a whole bunch in a position like this, you can try to find something to rest your butt on. In this case, you can lean slightly against the wall just to give yourself a little bit of support to take away some of that weight in your legs. You can also do this on a high seated surface. So if you rest your butt against the edge of the table and go forward, or the edge of a coffee table that won't slide out behind you and cause you to fall, stability matters, or a chair that's locked up against the wall, you'll be able to take a little bit of weight off of your legs because your hips are being supported. All right. And that will help you chill in the position a little bit better. Whew. What was the other thing? The other thing that's probably stretching and crying in pain right now is your hamstrings. Your hamstrings connect basically the bottom of your pelvis to just below the knee. So anytime your pelvis, your hips fold forward like that, the bottom of your hips go from here to over here. That's the distance where you're feeling the hamstring stretch. All right. And It's unavoidable. Anytime you fold forward, doesn't matter if your legs are together, just trying to touch your toes, or if your legs are apart and you're trying to touch the space in between your toes, your hamstrings are going to feel the stretch and it's unavoidable. So we spend time doing the elephant walks to loosen them up. We do the hamstring stretch so that when we get to this really intense part with the standing pancake, you've already super warmed up. I hope you enjoyed the anatomy lesson because I was really trying to fill the time to let your muscles relax and recover from that really intense stretch. We're going to get into some easier stuff. It's going to be chiller for one round of stretching, and then we're going to do some side splits. The fourth stretch that we're going to do is called the figure four or the pigeon. If you have a preference, you can do whatever you want. I explain one exercise per day because it's a lot of exercises. In general, the stretch looks like this. We're bringing the ankle across to the other side of the body. We're grabbing the leg. We're pulling it up as high as we can, and we're trying to bring the belly button down towards that leg. We're going to feel the stretch here in the outside of the hips, in the outside of the glutes, and that's basically the stretch. I'm pretty sure we did the figure four last, so we're going to go into the pigeon stretch. So from this position, where the ankle is here, we're going to basically just bring that all the way down. Boom. Pigeon. Don't do it the way I did because that's a silly way to get down to the ground. But I just wanted to demonstrate that it's the same setup on the ground. From the front, once again, we're bringing the ankle across the body. We're going to try to bring the midpoint of our chest sort of to the midpoint of our leg. And we're going to fold forward. Boom. That's it. That's the stretch. You might notice that this leg back here is not fully extended. If you know pigeon stretches in yoga, you might know that we want to try to extend this leg back behind us. And it is, in general, a good thing to do because it works on your hip flexibility, right? But if you can't get there, it's not that important for our purposes because we're really focusing on that hip on the side and not the front hip flexor at the moment. So if you can't do it, you can just bend your knee. If you can do it, great. Do it. If you really want to work on it while we do the pigeon, you can take some yoga blocks. You can take something, a stack of books, a big bunch of pillows, couch cushions, something to elevate your leg in front. And once your front leg is elevated, it will open up a little bit of space in your hips because you're higher off the ground. And that gives this back leg a little bit more room to hang out and get behind you. All right. So you can work on getting into that low pigeon, work on that hip flexibility from this position, slightly elevated leg. Whew. If some yoga blocks aren't quite high enough, you can use a stool. You can use a chair. Cool. That's it for information. Let's get into some stretches and we will wrap up soon because it's time for the side splits. All right. Leg across. Hips down, fold forward, stick the leg back if you can. Once you are in position, try your best to bring your chest down. Again, this is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to have the hips up and the head down. We're trying to have the hips down and then fold forward. Cool? 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Remember to breathe. And again, the stretch is here in the side of the glute, in the side of the hip. If you're not feeling the stretch, shift your chest towards your heel, towards your foot, and you should start feeling some new sensations. If you're still not feeling a stretch, push your foot away from your groin, push it towards your face, and that will add some more stretchy feelings. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is the pigeon on one side. The pigeon is a stretch that every time I do it, I go, man, I really should spend more time in that stretch because it feels not bad. You know, it's like, that's not bad. That type of feeling. Bring the leg across, extend the leg behind, fold at the hips. Try to keep that ankle pushed away from your groin, push it towards your face.
and fold. You might notice that one side is way more flexible than the other as well. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. The main con of the pigeon is every time I do it, I gotta look at my floor and be like, oh man, I should have swept. Oh man, I should have vacuumed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on up, back into standing. Oh, and by standing, I mean just not in that stretch. Relax, hang out, let the hips wiggle and move if you can. We are done with all of these stretches that we do prior to the side splits. We'll get into the side splits. They are basically an extreme form of hip mobility and hamstring length. And we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds here in this stretch. In between each round, we're going to shake it out. We're going to relax our muscles. And we're going to do some moves to try and get back to the beginning so we can stretch out some more. Let's see. Am I missing anything? No. I think... Oh, this is overdue. We do if you're just joining, we're doing 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day. Side split stretching is basically just super advanced hip mobility. So it's hip mobility and side splits. We do this every single day to practice consistency. We do this every single day to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet, help you bring good vibes into the chat so we can all support each other and make the suffering on the floor that we do together every day a little bit more bearable, a little bit more fun. And hopefully that combination of consistency, community, good vibes makes it you make a whole bunch of progress towards your side split goals. If that's awesome, you want to do some of that, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We do this live at 9 p.m. every single day. And on weekends, we do a bonus show 9 a.m. on Saturday, 9 a.m. on Sunday. So you can come back in like 11 hours if you want. Cool? Let's go. Side splits. Come on up into standing. Let's talk about safety real quick. I like to do the side splits with something behind me. All right? In this case, I have a table, but I recommend you get in front of a wall. When you have a wall, if you get into a side split position and you start losing balance for whatever reason, you're shifting your weight, you're trying to figure out the form, you lose balance, you go, oh no, I'm falling backwards. If the wall is right behind you, you fall into the wall. Maybe your shoulder takes a little hit. Maybe your back takes a hit. Maybe your glutes smash into the wall. Great. The biggest thing that's bruised is probably your ego and not your butt, because we don't want your butt falling all the way to the floor, smashing. You feel that shake through your whole chest. You go, oh, because you fell. And I don't want you to feel scared of the stretch. So that is why I recommend you have something to lean against if you start falling backwards. I have this table. This table is a little bit lightweight, but it is against the wall, so it's not going to go anywhere when I fall backwards, right? If you're going to use a coffee table in your living room, be very careful, because if you fall back against it, it's possible that the coffee table will slide out from beneath you. And that, I mean, it'll slow down your fall, so it'll be a little bit more bearable, but, you know, take precaution. Let's get into the side split. From here, we're getting to a wide stance. It doesn't have to hurt your hips. In fact, it should not hurt your hips. If it does hurt your hips, bring your legs in just a little bit. Fold forward at the hips. Point your belly button down into the ground. And when your head is pointed that way and your toes are pointed that way, everything's in alignment. You should be able to get into a much deeper position comfortably. From here, put your hands down. Do something that looks vaguely like a push-up. We're not trying to strengthen your arms at the moment. That's a nice bonus. But we're trying to lean forward and put weight into our arms to reduce the weight in our legs. We're doing that so that it's easier to externally rotate. If you've been here since the early beginning, you'll know what this is, but I don't expect that, so let's explain it. When we externally rotate the legs, the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. We're rotating the leg so that instead of the foot being planted on the ground, the foot is up in the air. Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. This is super important because this is the one piece that actually unlocks the side split anatomically. This rotates the thigh bone so it does not smash into your hip bone, and it lets you get into the side split without pain. Once you are here, try to walk your hands back towards your hips so you can put all the weight you kind of shifted forward back into your hips, and it's getting intense. This part is optional, but if you want, you can try to do a little wiggle from side to see if you can break the friction holding your feet back, get into a slightly deeper stretch. And once you're in position, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost done, 2, 1, 0. That is all of it. Walk your hands forward, bring your knees in. Try not to have all of your weight on your legs when you bring your knees in, because that might put a lot of pressure on your knees. Try to keep the weight in your hands so that your legs can just slide in. And we're gonna take a break. We're gonna chill. We're gonna relax. Grab a sip of water. Actually, I do want a sip of water. Crawl forward. And breathe, relax, chill for a second. Okay. That was side split number 1. We're going to get into side split number 2, but before we do that, we're going to shake out our bodies. We're going to relax all of those muscles, reduce some tension in the hips, in the legs, and it starts a little bit like this. If you are a regular, you know where this is going. If you're new, this is going to look a little bit crazy, and that's okay. Let's go. I want you to shake out your legs, shake out your hands. I want you to sort of flick water off of your body. You just got out of the pool, got out of some beach, jacuzzi, hot tub, I don't know, whatever it is. You want to shake out the leg so that you're flicking water at your enemies, and we want that. As you get more comfortable, you can pick up the intensity. You don't have to lift your leg nearly as far, and you can start letting the ankle relax. So the ankle is flopping all over the place. You can keep on going, and maybe you'll feel your calves swinging around and just chilling, hand out. And then later, as you get more skilled, you can add something that looks like this. We're rotating at the hip socket. If your big toe is down, you have a little pivot point. You can shake your leg out like this. That really lets the quads flip and flop around. You can, as you get a little bit more skilled, add that into the shake and the flop, and that will help the quads relax without you planting a toe and doing it very intentionally. But you can take it up to a higher intensity when your toes are planted and have that anchor point. Whew. Do the same things on the other side. There's a lot of information. Don't worry about trying to do everything all at the same time. If you're new to this, take it one step at a time. Start with the flick. Let the ankles, the calves relax. As you get more comfortable, drop the knee. You don't have to work so hard. Shake, flop, wiggle, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 and your legs will relax. You know they're relaxing because your muscles are shaking and flopping around. And we want this because we don't want the muscles to be tense. Every time we're stretching, the goal is to control the tension. If we're tensing before we're getting into the deepest possible position that you can get into, then you're fighting against yourself, right? So when we can, we want to reduce the tension in our muscles as much as possible. There's only so much we can do, but we want to try our best. And that's what the shaking is for. The shaking is just a very intentional way to loosen up the muscles flopping around and training your brain to relax on command, essentially, so that you can make the most out of every other bit of exercise that you do. Whew. Hope you enjoyed the spiel. Let's get into side split number 2. Let's go. Open up the legs and make sure you're in front of something. 8 to 12 inches-ish generally works, so that if you fall backwards, you can rest your butt. You can catch yourself. Let's go. Open up the legs decently wide. Breathe. Fold forward. Point your belly button down into the ground. Catch yourself with the hands. Do a little bit of a push-up. And with the weight in your arms, externally rotate your legs, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up on both sides. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. 1 second, I'm going to adjust this earbud so it does not fall out of my ear. From here, this is all optional. You can try to walk your hands back towards your hips to put some of the body weight that we shifted forward into your legs, help you get into a deeper stretch. You can do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side to see if you can break the friction holding your legs back. And with that, we're ready for 30 more seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you ever feel like I'm talking really fast, don't take that as a sign to move fast. I want you to move controlled, leisurely, with intention. I don't want anything explosive happening, because that puts you at a much higher risk of hurting yourself. Explosiveness is not necessary for what we're doing. I talk fast because I got lots to say, and I gotta take time to breathe too, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Oh, try to bring the legs in. Keep the pressure off of your knees when you're bringing the legs in. Chill, hang out, relax. Give yourself a little bit of a light massage for the hips if you'd like. And come back into standing. That was our second side split. We're going to shake it out just like before. We're going to start with the flick. Like you're trying to get your friends wet with the water in the puddle that you just stepped in. You go, whoosh, whip that water into their face. Gross. Terrible friend. All right, keep on shaking out the legs. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Add in that extra movement. Switch to the other side. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Plant your toe down to have an anchor point so you can really flop that leg around, and the quads should just start swaying all over the place. Once you're done that, for about 5 to 10 seconds on each leg, your muscles should be more or less relaxed enough. We're going to do a little bit of love for these hips. What that means is we're going to try and pop into sort of like a 10% squat. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not all the way down here. We're just gentle squat. We're going to put all our weight into the right leg. We're going to come onto the balls of our feet in this left leg. There should not be that much weight in it because we're going to be rotating the leg, just like how we were doing the gentle one like this and shaking out the quad. We're going to do a little bit more intense one with a little bit more weight in that leg. All right, so 10% of a squat. We're going to try to rotate that hip out as much as we can, and not hip. We're going to rotate the leg out in the hip socket as much as we can. Then we're going to rotate back in, then out, then in, then out. Notice how the upper body and this side is not moving. The hips are not moving. All of the movement is coming from this leg where the thigh bone connects to the hip bone right here. We're just trying to get some movement to let these muscles here in the hip relax a little bit. Cool? Whew. 3, 4, 5, whatever you do is fine. You don't have to count so much.
On the other side, we're gonna do the same thing. Bring the leg in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Whew. Keep on shaking out the legs. This is our third and final side split, so really take the time to get loose, to get chill. Let's go. Round 3, let's do it. We are standing 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that we're gonna fall back into if we fall. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, all those good things, don't fall. But if you do, have some safety precautions. Widen the stance, make sure your hips don't hurt. Fold forward, point your belly button down at the ground, and get into a wider stance. Put your hands down on the floor. Shift your body weight, a little bit of it, into your arms to make it easier for your legs to rotate. Our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are up. That is the rotation I'm talking about. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. We need to do this to make sure our thigh bones don't crash into our hip bones and cause pain. So make sure to do this part. Walk the hands back towards your hips and put that weight we shifted into our arms back into our legs. The stretch is going to get more intense. You're going to sink a little bit deeper into it. Finally, this part is optional. You can do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you can get a little bit deeper by breaking the friction, holding your feet back. And once you are here in this position, it's time. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, lean forward, walk your hands forward, bring your legs in together, and that was our third and final side split stretch. I hope you tried your best. I hope you got a little bit deeper. I hope your legs are feeling quite tired because you tried and you did your best. Cool? Whew. Breathe, take a break, relax, massage those hips. And when you can, let's get back into standing. Shake it out one last time. Do some joint checks to make sure everything is working well. And then we will wrap up with Q&A. Let's go. Come on up. Shake out those legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Again, we are just trying to relax the muscles in our legs. Get them to be chill. Get them to relax. When your legs are starting to feel more or less normal-ish again, we're going to add a little bit of hip stuff. We're going to pop into that little bit of a squat, maybe get a little bit deeper this time. All the weight into one leg, put this foot on the ball of its foot, and do some internal, external rotation again, which means all the movement is coming from the leg bone where it connects to your hip. We're going to rotate in, rotate out, rotate in, rotate out. Just getting the muscles in the hip to move, to relax a little bit. Switch to the other side. In, out, in, out. Notice nothing else is moving. Your hips are not moving. It's all this leg. And once you've done a couple of these, we're ready to move on. The deeper into a squat you get into, the more intense and difficult this will be. The less you do, the less intense it will be. So pick your poison. Cool. Once your hips are feeling a little bit looser, a little bit better, we're going to do a couple of joint checks to wrap up. I like to do some hip circles at the end. I know after doing side splits, the left side and the right side in that hip circle position are always quite tender
need a little bit of extra attention. If you have a similar spot, maybe your hamstrings are real tight when you're folding forward in something that looks like a hip circle, but you're taken to kind of an extreme point, then give your hamstrings a little bit of love. Once you've taken care of some of those muscles in the hip, let's do some high knees. You don't have to do very many. As long as you're able to do them and they feel normal, we're good to move on. Over here, we're going to fold at the hips. We're going to pop into a bit of a squat. We're going to push the knees forward, stretch those ankles, put some pressure on all of those joints. And we're going to try our best to do a calf raise. And if those are good, come back out of that squat into a standing position. We just worked some of the main angles, the main movement patterns for those joints. And if everything felt good, you felt like you can get out of it and get into it pretty smoothly, then you are probably fine. So that wraps up our stretches. I am so thankful that you were here. I'm so happy that you came in to practice a little bit of consistency, that we were able to work on some flexibility in the hips, work on those side splits, get a little bit of a sweat going, because I bet it's a nice way to wrap up your evening and help you get to bed. Okay, let's see. Time to check the comments. Syed, oh, welcome back. Thank you for making it. Says, I have an exam today. I am so dead. You don't need to get up super early just to come to the live. I think you mentioned that it's, I don't know, something like 8:30, 9 o'clock for you right now. And you're up since, actually, I can't remember. I take it back. I think you're on Indian Standard Time. I think it's 7 o'clock for you right now, maybe? So it's super early. I have, when's the other show? Yeah. On the weekends, I have another show at the other 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. So you can do this in the evenings instead. Okay. Scrolling through the chat on TikTok. Gayeta says, thank you, Ken. Have a good day / night to everyone. Thank you, Gayeta. Travel Darcy says, thanks for today. Ooh, lovely. Got hearts from Sean, Unleashed. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to scroll through the chat to see if there are any questions and comments that I need to address, because I have not been back at the camera at all to look at comments. I've been trying to slow down the pace, be a little bit more chill, a little bit more calm, and also try to wrap up the show within about an hour so that we get the meat of the live taken care of. And I'm going to spend more time at the end of the live looking at the comments, at least for a little bit. This is just an experiment to see how it goes and see how well this is received. Because I tend to go off on little segues when I look at the chat in the middle of the live. I'll just start explaining other stretches, and I don't know if that is as beneficial for everybody else. I'm going to still do those things just at the end of the live. Cool? Okay. Hildy sends a nice wave. Gayeta reinforcing the flop. Somebody mentioned a couple of weeks ago that it should be on a t-shirt. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be known for the flop thing. Gayeta says, lock in, Ken. Okay, I don't know what I was distracted about, but I was trying not to be. Let's see. Scrolling up the chat, checking it out. Not much going on. This is one of the cons of not coming back to the chat as often. You get less chat because people are like, oh, he's not engaging anyway. Why would I chat? That's okay. Akaria with the 2.2K likes. Thank you. And keep scrolling. Eric the Celestial, welcome back. Says, hey. And we got some roses from Golden Penny. Thank you. 3 more roses for the live goal. I honestly don't even know what the live goal is. I appreciate that you found some sort of goal and are trying to hit it. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't actually know what all of these additional features on TikTok are, because I don't focus on those. I focus mostly on doing the side splits and getting them done. But I appreciate that you're trying your best to hit all those goals. That's awesome. Drew says, thank you, Ken. I can feel the difference in my lower back. Okay, so this was really early in the beginning when we were doing the thoracic rotations. Those are really good for you. Make sure that you take them nice and slow when you're doing the rotations. We don't want them to be explosive. You want to relax your back. You want to get the most out of the stretch. This isn't about power. This isn't about, I don't know, trying to hit a baseball. I don't know what else you need thoracic rotation for. You're not trying to kick anybody.
We're just trying to lengthen the spine and get a nice twist. Cool? All right. With that, I think I am pretty much close to the top of the chat. We're almost there. There was a question here from somebody. DD Fiesta Party says, I can't do that exercise because I have hip arthritis. That's really tough. Yeah, if you feel like that it's not possible for you, then feel free to skip it. I do a lot of stuff using the hips, so I'm not sure that you can do very much of the live because it's all about hip mobility and side splits, which is just advanced hip mobility. But if you can, I recommend that you try it. I think once you've tried it, you'll know for sure it is or is not doable. And I'm not an expert in arthritis or hip pain, so that is all I can offer. Sus Tardis says, I get cramps so easily, I have to stop frequently. That typically happens when you have weak muscles. If you're trying to get into a position that is challenging for you, and especially if you're doing it for the first time, you don't have the muscle memory, the patterns to get into, and you're just learning new stuff, your muscles are going to cramp. That happens a lot. So stop frequently. Take the time. Take it nice and slow. Get your body used to the exercises, and they will get easier as you go. The other thing you can do is to focus on strengthening your muscles as soon as possible. So if you have some specific cramp, that muscle tends to be a little bit weaker than the other muscles around it for the movement that you're trying to do. So if you can strengthen it, it'll be easier to do the movement and you'll cramp a little bit less. However, I imagine a lot of the cramping is happening because it's your first time really using the muscle in that way and they're just not used to it. So with a little bit of consistency, with a little bit extra practice, it should be a little bit more normal and it should be a little bit less painful. That being said, consistency is hard. And if you're cramping up, it makes it extra hard. So good luck. We're here every day at 9 p.m. So hopefully I can give you a little bit of the support that you need. Rosanna, right at the very beginning, says, what are you teaching? We were doing a whole bunch of hip mobility and hopefully leading into some side splits so that we can work on moving a little bit better. And yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm going to scroll back down to the bottom of the chat now. I think that was the very first one. Let's see. We got anything else to address? Sean says, great stretch. Love tuning in daily. Lovely. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it. Chase says, see you tomorrow. And Anchors and Align, who I saw just sent a whole bunch of nice stuff in through the chat, says thank you. Thank you very much, Anchor. I appreciate it. Okay. I think with that, we are 73-ish minutes deep into the live. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you feel good. I feel warmed up, relaxed, ready to rest, go to bed, feeling really good about yourselves because you did a lot of hard stretching work and it's not easy. So as a reminder, especially because new people are joining into the chat right now, we do 45-ish minutes, 60 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I hope I bring good vibes to the internet, give you a lot of information so you can just jump in and get started and work on some stretches. And I hope that is a good combination that helps us all practice consistency, do the suffering on the floor parts, and make the whole thing a little bit more enjoyable, because at the end of the day, if you want to make progress, you got to be consistent. I hope that this show offers a little bit more support while you work on that. Cool. That's it for me. Thank you for being here. I hope you're feeling a little bit stretchier, a little bit more mobile, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I got another live in about 10 hours and 45 minutes, 11-ish hours. So if you are on and it's 9 p.m. right now, we got a show at 9 a.m. I mean, it's like 10:15 p.m. But we got another one at 9 a.m. So you can come back for that. If that's a little too soon, you're not a morning person because it's already late in the evening, then I'll see you in 24 hours. And by 24, I mean 22 and change. Cool. Goodbye. Closing out. Math is hard. I don't know why I keep doing this. Bye. Closing out over here on YouTube as well. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.